right. Welcome, everyone. Good night. It's good to be back with my good buddy, Mark Maia. How is everything? We were hanging out not too long ago at
Uh-huh.
London Con, and you've had some big changes in your life since the last time you were on the show.
Yeah, I grew my hair long, and and I've had a newborn.
Yeah, that'll change your life
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
So my brain's a little fried, and if I look a little distracted, it's because I'm putting literally the final touches on a cover I wanted to share with you that's never seen the light of day.
Ooh,
Well, at least not in its colored format with the title treatment, which I literally just copy and pasted together. And I'm going to say
excellent.
right now as we speak.
We will definitely get to that for sure. So we're going to be digging into some indie comics, specifically your title, um, so-called Living, which has done gangbusters. You're on your fourth campaign or third campaign now.
This is third campaign. It should be my fourth. It should have been, but I meant because So-Called Living, I've always released two campaigns in a year. I say always. I've done it once. Last year, I released two campaigns in a year, and each campaign had two books.
Right.
Now, this year I was going to do the same, but I had a newborn right smack dab in the middle of my book production phase. So it got pushed to October. So next month we're going to be doing one Kickstarter with 4 books, which will end this end the story. So it's like the final chapter.
Sweet. Wow. Okay.
So it's very exciting. It's going to be a lot, and I'm hoping to put a little extra in there. I don't want to tell anybody what it is yet, in case I can't come through with it. But it's quite possible. I'm trying my best to make it happen.
You'll make it happen. You always deliver, so it's all good. So, question:
Hit me. Shoot me.
What have you learned? What have you learned since you first started your journey in indie comics? What's the biggest takeaway?
The biggest takeaway. It's expensive. It's a lot of work, but I knew it was a lot of work going in, so I wouldn't say that's something that I learned. But I know there's a lot to learn, like making the book, whatever your portion of it is, like just part of it. Like I'm a writer, so like okay, I wrote a script, so I had to learn how to write a script. Right? Okay, how to write a script for comics. It's like, okay, I did that. You know, what's the standard comic book length? It's just these things like that. And then once that's written, you're like, now where do I find an artist that I can trust? Because that's a key factor. Because once you start looking for artists, look for stories of people who have looked for artists, and you're gonna find just a trail of horror stories from both ends. You're going to find artists that took their money and ran, didn't finish their work. You're going to find artists who finished their work and then the writer never paid them. Like there's so much distrust in there.
Yeah.
So it's tricky, man. Like it's hard to find somebody you trust. And then once you got all that, because I found Marco Leone. He's amazing. And then you got all that and you're like, great. Now what? Now where do I, like, there's so many things you didn't realize you don't know. It's like, okay, how do I get this printed? How do I get money for this? How does a Kickstarter work? And so there's so much homework to do. You don't even know. Like just writing, getting the art done. That's like, I don't even know if that's half. You know, that's the majority, because then you got a book, which is great. But then how do you get it out in front of people? Right? There's so much more to do. But the biggest takeaway, I got it. It finally came to me. The biggest takeaway is, if you're going to do, at least is my opinion, if you're going to do a series of floppies, like I did 8, don't, and instead do a trade that has all of them in there. And I think the reason for that, again, from my limited experience at a show, it seems that people, even though when people come to my table, they usually buy all of the books I have. They don't. Rarely does somebody buy just issue 1. But it's like people are a little reluctant, I think, to buy from somebody that they don't know if they'll see again. There's no track record there. They don't know if they're going to finish the story that they're going to start, right? But if you get a trade, then it's this one like condensed, collected series, and that's it. You're gonna get a beginning and an end of the story. You're gonna like or dislike it. There's no commitment to buy more. You don't need to go hunt this person down. You know what I mean? So
I totally get it.
and because it's like they can see us at a show, but they're not going to see us at whatever comic book store they go to. It's not like Amazing Spider-Man or Superman. We're not easy to find because we're indie.
Exactly. And I think the counterbalance to that, because we weighed that with Atrium, right?
Oh.
Was so then if you're going to crowdfund, is it that you're going to be able to crowdfund for those 5 to 8 issues, right? Like who's gonna lay down the kind of cash that you need to fund those issues, and then maybe going the floppy route is better because you basically need a fifth of the money or whatever to get it started.
Exactly. So here's another takeaway. If you can actually, no, you would be better to answer this, because I was thinking that if you can do it with a friend who would do it with you, that would be great. Because I tried to do it with a few people. Jamie Reel is probably my biggest loss. He's the one that slipped through the cracks. I thought he would have been great for the series. He's the guy that drew this bunny.
Nice.
So he just couldn't commit to that much work without pay, and it was without pay because it was supposed to be like a partnership.
That's a hard ask.
But it is. But again, there are people out there who are there. So I was just hoping to find that, right? I was willing to share everything and work on everything, and I was even willing to upfront the costs for the print, right? So like I'll pay for that. But yeah, that fell through. But it'd be cool to work with a friend on a comic book. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's not just like an employee relationship. It's like a labor of love from both of them. That's the dream. But that doesn't happen often.
It's true. I know we had our own, like every book has its own story behind the scenes that you could probably make some sort of a drama out of.
Oh.
And ours is no different. Atrium's no different. And we've gone the route where we've worked with friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also had some close people that were, part of our inner circle that we wanted to work on it. And just for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. And we had to find then a new artist, and was just lucky that we found Lucas on X, I guess Twitter, before the rebranding. And yeah, working with people that is great, especially if they're invested in the project as well too. But it's a hard ask and not everyone's going to share the same sort of like commitment, vision, all those things that are necessary to kind of pull this thing off. And sometimes you just gotta, cast a wide net. And it happened with you. You cast a wide net, make sure that you pay the people in some capacity, because you may not be able to get all the money up front, but give them something so they're not working on faith alone. And just be a good manager, be a good business person up front with them, make it collaborative, and cross your fingers and toes.
Yeah, I would. I think saving grace for me was, other than finding Marco, like the reason I found Marco was through David Campetti, who's worked in the comic book industry. Like he's worked at Stan Lee and he's worked at Marvel. He's been worked with a lot of the big guys for like 40 years or 45 years, like a long time. And he's got a company where he acts kind of like the middleman. And if you need an artist, illustrator, or a colorist, you're like, David, I need somebody who can do this, and here's my budget. And he'll do his best to find somebody for you. And he does a really good job. He's the one that introduced me to Marco. He's the one that I shared some covers with you that if you want to share later. Some of those are from people that I found through David, like colorists and illustrators that I found through him, that I said, David, I need somebody to do this. I need a style like this. I want this. And he's like, okay, here's 2 people. What do you think of their work? And I was like, okay, I like that one. He's like, no problem. And he puts us in contact, and they do it. Oh, there's Jamie. There's my number 1 draft pick who shut me down.
Well, we'll get to some comments. Brittany, and very special Brittany. Xavier says hello. Hi, Xavier. How you doing, Xavier? How you doing, Brittany? Hey, Xavier. And then Marco is killing it.
Yep, Marco is very much killing it. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting not having, because once this is over, once these 4 books come out, like Marco still has to illustrate the last one. I've kind of put a hold on pages for now. Like the scripts are done, but I put a hold on pages to get covers done, so I could get the Kickstarter out. Because for Kickstarters, you need covers, not pages, because you don't want to ruin the story. So you should you go to Kickstarter, you see the covers, and that's what you're selling is the covers and the story. So I asked Marco if he could change gears, shift gears, and I was like, okay, just stop drawing pages, just draw covers. And it was a bad time to get him in a rush, because he's like doing cons in Italy promoting his work. So it was like, so it was a little hold up, but he's getting stuff done. I think one of the books I sent you in the press kit, you'll see it's just a scribble. It's just a scribble of what's to come. It's like book 8 from Marco.
It looks great, and I'm going to pop those up in a second, and then we'll also take a look at the campaign. But Brittany says Xavier's waving.
Hey, Xavier. If anybody's wondering, that's my son. Hey, buddy.
And we have Rafael Tavares says, Mark, hey. Woo! All right.
That's a great picture of Rafael.
Yeah, a little bit of, oh, God, what's the wrestlers? Ric Flair. He's got a little Ric Flair action going there. So thanks for everyone going into the comments. And I'm going to love to see what Mark has in store for us for So-Called Living. And it's interesting because you said you did 8. You're going to have 8 floppies in this, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have 8 floppies, and I still have number 1 over here. So, I have 8 floppies, and the next 4 is going to end the series. And for people who have been following along with the story so far, they're going to notice a big difference in the tone, because where book 4 left off, that's when you start seeing Jack's goofy life, his friends cast starts colliding with the mafia cast, which I've always used this as a pitch or explanation of it, which is it's like the cast of Soprano or the cast of Friends being hunted down by the cast of The Sopranos. So in issue 4, that's when those kind of 2 worlds really start colliding. And then after that, they get closer and closer, and the closer they get, the worse it gets for Jack. And you're going to see, as like the further the story goes, you're going to see a lot of different sides to characters that were, hard asses. You're going to see they'll show a little sensitive side, or guys might have been goofballs or you thought were cowards. They're going to show a bit of a heroic side. They're going to get pushed to limits and put in situations that are a little more intense than anything they've been in so far. Issue 5. So this is a Marco cover. As you can see, issue 5 is when we're going to start seeing werewolves.
Sweet.
And there's a mystery character in there that has not been introduced yet. She's in the donut box. And this is just a fun one for you to. This, as bizarre as this looks, it does tie into the story. Like this event doesn't happen exactly, but that's kind of like the thing. The covers have always kind of been weird, like them sitting in a giant thing of fries, right? That was issue 1, and it tied into the story, but they never sat in a giant thing of fries. Yeah. So another new female character sitting on that bike with Nick and Casper. So there's some characters being introduced. And here's Marco's work in progress. This is what Marco sends me. This is the second one he sent me. I made a comment and he sent it back, and then I was like, "I approve." And then from here on, he's going to do something awesome because like he knocks out these. And just for anybody's wondering, this is what like the roughs look like. And Marco's roughs for like in the page stuff is getting better every time because getting more comfortable with drawing the characters. So in the beginning, the first book was like a blob, like they looked like Casper. People wearing sheets, you know what I mean? Because they're just blobs with holes. You're like, there's a person standing here, a person standing here, and now he draws them, and now you can pick out. It's like that's Nick, that's Casper, that's Jack, that's Tim. Like he's getting so quick at drawing them. So
yeah, you get a shorthand after a while once you do a character over and over again.
So it's great. So that gives you a little sneak peek behind the scenes of how it goes. And these pages have just gotten colored. I go to Casbury Studios for colors if anybody's looking.
And are they Canadian or are they US? Where are they?
They're US. So I found them through a friend of mine, Michelle Sassicorn, who she colors for DC, or she does. She's got her names on like in bold now in like
nice.
top 2 comics, right? So
nice.
She's making quite a name for herself. So Michelle is excellent, and I asked her first if she'd be interested, and thanks, Jamie. Yeah, Marco did great on that one. And at first he had just the one wolf, and I was like, squeeze 2 more in there. Get 2 more. Just kind of looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, Raphael says always great covers, especially the bunnies.
Oh, I didn't put that in the press kit, but Jamie, who's watching, we've got a double cover thing. You know, one of those books where you put the 2 covers together and they make one picture.
Right.
This is not it. This is issues 1 to 2. But Jamie put together something that's just is killer. He did such a great job. Yep, we are releasing all 4 issues at once. It's going to be the final chapter. If they're all released at once, you can call them chapters.
Chapters, yeah.
So,
the final chapters of the first arc. How about that?
Yeah. So, like the so-called living, like the world so-called living, will continue. But after this, the story will wrap it up, and we'll take a little break, and we'll see who survives.
Yep. Oh, can't wait. And so I'm going to assume that there are plans for a trade after this.
There are not. There's not.
Oh.
Now there is. Again, something I should have shared.
No. We're getting the tea first. First drop of the tea right here. So let's go.
So what I'm trying to get done, and there's a prototype currently being built. I'm pricing this out, and I'm going to try to include it, is a collector's box. And if it comes out as planned, which I'm hoping the prototype comes in and it's just like exactly what I wanted. It was very specific, but it's a box that will hold. It'll hold like all 8 books. There's just only 3 books, but it'll hold all 8 books in a nice little box, nice and tight. And it's a full color, like glossy box with a clear sleeve that says so-called living on it. And it'll sit on your shelf. So although we're not doing trades, we're going to make a nice little collector's box so that people can pick that up. And we'll have everything in there. So it'll still be singles, but it'll be singles in a single thing, in a single box.
So like a deluxe slipcase, essentially.
Yeah. It's like a deluxe slipcase.
Yeah.
And the mock-up I did, I know I did. I did it myself, but it looks awesome. Like it's so good. Like the clear slipcase with the logo on it, and then so when you put it actually the prototype I'm using is the cover for book 4, which is a bunch of guys fighting. Which is not going to be.
That's a great cover.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get Marco to create specific art that wraps around like a nice piece that's just very Marco. And the idea is when it goes in, there won't be a logo, but when you slide it, the logo sits right where it's supposed to be.
Got it.
So it's going to be a nice set. So that's what I'm hoping to do. And it's not something, and ideally, in a perfect world, I'd like to give that out free with whoever buys all the books, right? Or even if you buy the last 4, because I know there's been a lot of people that have bought the first 4 already. I don't
Mhm.
want to rip them off and be like, nah, too bad. It's basically, if you buy the last 4, you get the box, because the box is only ever available with those 4. Like it's never been available before they are out. So in the Kickstarter, if you get the last 4, then you get the box, and then you can put all your other books in it.
Okay, cool. And obviously when you're doing Kickstarters, and I think that's the big thing to weigh, is variants, and then what kind of variants. And you've already had some interesting variants for the first 2 campaigns.
Mhm.
And I just took a look at some sneak peeks, and if you don't mind, I'm going to share those.
Yep.
And you got to give us the background on not only these covers, but your thoughts behind them and how they play into the ones that you've done before.
Yo, bring it.
All righty, just let me get this thing all set up.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna see if I can sneak in Jamie's cover. It's like it's not colored yet. Okay, so we're going backwards. So this is the obligatory sex pot edition. I just mocked these up as I was in the waiting room. So I put the titles and the numbers.
Wait.
I mocked up I took the art and I mocked it.
No. I just find it's kind of hilarious that you mocked it up in the waiting room.
Yeah, so I grabbed them, layered them and put the thing. So I did that, and so I didn't get to put the obligatory sex pot badge on it yet. But basically, this is one of the characters that you've already seen, but a sexified cosplay version of her.
Right.
So, and yeah. So this one's interesting. So this is a character you have not seen yet, but this character, and before you show the next photo, hopefully this will line up. Before you show the next photo, this character is going to be a character that's very important to Nick, who's one of the main characters in the story. Now, in this, she is a vampire, but she hasn't always been a vampire, as like most vampires. So this cover could technically take place before or after she's a vampire. This night scene would be if she was a vampire already. And then the next scene, which is the scene that comes up.
Suspense, everybody. There we go.
Boom. Or is it the light? And so it's before or after she's a vampire. I mean, so night scene would be after she's a vampire, day scene would be before. So I'm not going to get both of these done. If anybody has a preference of sun or moon, let me know. I think I'm going to put as many votes out there. Like this is the first time anybody's seeing these, by the way. So if you guys like one over the other,
if there's anyone in the chat that has a preference, just put sun or put moon, and then we'll tabulate it by the end of the stream, and that'll give Mark a little bit of like real time consumer data.
Yep.
To see which way to go.
But
they look both of them are.
They both look great. That's why it's such a hard decision when because this was there was like the illustrator and the colorist that put this together, and when the colorist sent it to me, and he sent me the moon, and because I told him it was like, this thing could either be in the day or the night. I'm good with whatever you feel looks best. And then he sent me both, and I was like, this makes things harder. I was like, they both look great. I'm leaning toward the moon scene myself because I like the contrast of how the logo pops on it.
Yes, yeah, it does. Let's go back and forth. Yeah, it is a little bit more stark with the night scene.
But yeah, man, it's just so, I don't know.
Well, we got one vote for moon already.
Oh,
and let's get to I guess issue 6.
Yes, issue 6 is interesting.
Does this have does this have any relation to the other one, the Costco bunny?
It does have a relation to the other one. So this is the second cover where we're like in this grocery store of bunnies, right? And it does tie in, and this actually, unlike some other sex pot covers we have, it's always like a kind of like a play right? Where it's like a sexy version of a regular of a character that's not portrayed as sexy in the book.
Right.
But this character will always be sexy, and she will be portrayed like this in the book. But there's only a small little bit of her. She's a tease for a future story. She's like a tease in the book for another part of the world, and the story will evolve too. But she does show up, so she pokes her head in the story, and kind of like pokes it back out. She does her part, and then just like back out. So yeah, I think when she shows up, I think you'll have more questions than answers. But but I like her. She's the only one that I purposely did. I was like, you know what? I think this character would be fun as like a sexy character, especially the way the other characters react to her. So I think it's going to be a fun one.
Sweet. I just want to say, Myself in Comics, welcome. Yeah, you made it. I'm glad that you're able to join us, as well as everyone else who's in on the comments. I'm going to go to Raphael again. He said we have another vote from Moon, so I think that's 2-0 for Moon. Moon's taking an early lead. And then Raphael also says Bunny, so a fan of issue number 6's variant. And then Myself in Comics, remember to like everyone. Thank you very much. And nice to see Mark again. It's always nice to see Mark, and thank you very much, Myself in Comics, for the wonderful comments. For sure. So I could tell that you are having a lot of fun moving on with the story. As a creator, what are your feelings just before? Because you have a Kickstarter in the pre-launch page, and we'll go to the page in a second. But what are your feelings as a creator? Because this is like, I know you have actual babies, but this is like your creative baby. And now that you're like the sun setting on this side of the journey.
Well, you know what? It's when I was putting these covers together to get them to you so you could show them, seeing them all together, it was like emotional. I was like, this is it. I finally did it. Like I finally made my comic, and I put it out. I got to tell my story, and people liked it, and I got it out there, and I loved that I could share it with people. And regardless of what happens, like I've left this thing that's on this world for people to experience. And there are people that will, and there are people that won't. But the thought of like, I've left a story here that didn't exist before I was here. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
That's like just an amazing feeling, and the fact it's coming to an end is emotional. Like it's done. It's great that it's done. It's like my baby's grown up and going off to school, but I miss him. And I'll bring the story back and eventually do a little bit more. I got a lot of plans. Like So-Called Living is not gonna die with these 8 issues. So I've got a lot of plans for it. And yeah. Anyways, it's emotional. And FYI, I did slip a sneak peek of Jamie's sketch for those double covers.
Okay. We'll get to it for sure.
If you get to it, it's awesome.
For sure.
It's so good. It's not colored yet.
You know what? This is behind the scenes stuff, so the fans will love to see it. Myself in Comics says like a legacy feeling, and absolutely, it's something that down the line, no, because I've tabled beside you, and we've tabled at various cons together, and so I see the reaction that fans have when they come to your table, and not only are they going to enjoy it, but then it's also something that your kids will be able to say, "Hey, look, Mom and Dad kind of were behind this."
And it's a great feeling to have, and we've tabled beside each other more than once, twice at least, and I think both at London Comic Con.
Yeah, I think they put us together in London Comic Con all the time. Yeah.
I think it's because we look so much alike, and they want
we're twins essentially.
Practically twins. But yeah, like when I see people come up to your table too, and they're all excited, like you have people returning from the cons, and they're like, "Dude, that's awesome!" Like I understand how that must feel to you, because like it feels great to me when people come up and they're like, "Yeah, I saw you here last year. I gotta have this one and this one. I love that." And there's some guys that come here and they just want to get all the covers, all the variant covers.
Mhm.
Like, they're like, "Okay, I took these last time. I'm gonna take that one. I think I have this one." And there's other people who bought the Kickstarter, but they didn't get it signed, so they found me. They
Right.
bought the Kickstarter to get it signed, and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, that's amazing." And I had one guy that was his friend couldn't make it to the con, and he only had two things on his list to pick up, which was like Green Lantern issue something something and So-Called Living issue
Hey,
3 and 5 is what he was looking for.
hey,
There's no
hey.
5.
When you're in the same conversation as I've come to get a Green Lantern and a so-called living, then you're good, man.
It was great because I remember the guy walked up to me, and like the guy who picked it up had no idea what So-Called Living was, but he came up to me and he was like, "I think you're the person I'm looking for," and I was like, "I am. What do you need?" So yeah, here's how awesome is this? This is going to be like a 2-cover, like, put them together. So I'm not going to even put the logo on this. So-Called, I'm not going to even put So-Called Living. I'm going to put on
You
the
know
back.
what? I think that's a great idea. Doing those as virgin covers are perfect.
Yeah. So it's so good. Like the amount of bunnies, Jamie, so good. Like the amount of, were you cursing me while you were doing this? You're like, "Run,
Jamie,
bunny."
chime in. Chime in.
So like, I hope Jamie's still watching, because that was
It's a lot of
awesome.
detail. That's
It's
a lot
so
of detail.
it's crazy. It's crazy, and I think Jamie has mastered cute bunnies. Man, he's nailed it, and I like that the original artist of this bunny has come back to do the ultimate bunny cover.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
return.
fantastic, and like the intensity on the faces. Like if you look at Nick and Casper, the two giant vampires, like fighting with these two giant werewolves, it's so intense.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
It's
great.
absolutely great.
Anyways, if I don't know if any, I don't know who is going to buy just one of these covers and not the other. Like, you got to buy both. It looks so good together. So I'm looking for there you go. There he is. I'm looking for just the right colorist for this, because when
Right.
Jamie said this, I was like, well, we got to find just the right person for this one, and I'm waiting to hear back.
For
And
sure.
see, where's my lion head bunny?
Yep. Where's my lion head bunny? Werewolves.
I just
Comics.
noticed, Jamie, you drew a hand, a disembodied zombie hand flying through in the lower right corner. Every time I look at this image, I always find
Oh,
more
there we
stuff.
go. Right there. Yes, right on the bunnies. Where the barcode might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is an amazing cover.
Yeah.
And so I don't think we ever spoke about this beforehand. What were some of your kind of influences when it came to comics when you were a kid? What were you reading? What characters, what writers, what creators were on your radar?
Oh, for me, McFarlane, right? Because I started collecting comics with Spider-Man #1, Torment. That was the McFarlane. That was the McFarlane story where it's like Calypso and the Lizard and
Right.
Spider-Man.
That's the relaunch of the series after Amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it has the cover with the variant silver webs and gold webs and white webs, whatever webs you want. We have them, and they cost different amounts. They come in a bag, come out of a bag. If they come in a bag and take them out of a bag, they're worse.
I think there were like 5 of them. I think there were 5 covers or something along those lines.
So that was the first one I got into, and I remember I bought it. I was like, "Why is it in a bag?" I could have tossed the bag out because I was like 15 or whatever, and 16. I don't remember. I have to do math on that. I think 15. And I just threw it out. I wasn't a collector then. That was my first book, and I loved it. And I think I loved how non-serious Spider-Man takes situation. He takes them seriously, but he doesn't project the seriousness. Right? He's not Batman.
Right.
Very much. He's always tongue in cheek, always throwing jokes, always sarcastic, always kind of like putting people on, and that's kind of actually how I how I write. Like the characters, they're in serious situations, but they don't take themselves too seriously. But it also doesn't diminish the situation. So it's not like
Mhm.
there was something terrible going to happen, and then they make a joke, and then it just like poof in a puff of sparkles. Like it's the serious situation still happens. It's just how they deal with those situations. And up until now, it's been very much making jokes and sarcastic comments, and it's all kind of like a fun Goonies like adventure. Do you know what I mean? But as the story goes, like as I mentioned, things are going to get dark, and it's going to get to a point where funny is not going to cut it. So even our funny characters get serious. It's not like it's going to erase the funny and the humor and the relationships out of the picture, but there is going to be a point in the story where it gets serious for everybody.
So the stakes are going to be raised.
Yeah, people are going to get messed up. Like it's we went from like simple problems. Like it started off with like, I can't get into my apartment because I'm a vampire, nobody can invite me in. It started with silly little problems like that, right? And now we're at like we might die, people are getting seriously hurt, and like it I guess it's mentioned, it's like the cast of Friends being hunted by Sopranos, but the Sopranos have caught up, and at this point, Chandler can't make jokes anymore. It's not going to get him out of the situation. So it's going to be intense, and I really enjoyed writing, especially books 7 and 8. I really enjoyed them. So it's gonna be fun, and I have a version of the cover for book 8. That's an elite cover, which is a guest artist cover. That's what James is an elite cover. Those I have a version that has like words on it, so it's like a magazine treatment, and I'm doing
The copy or
the copy. I'm doing the copy treatment on the cover,
right.
and I have like one line is like, "Who makes it out alive?" And so it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be intense.
Nice. Myself in comics, which McFarlane again? That would be Todd.
Todd,
I'm assuming.
yeah, that'd be Todd McFarlane.
And
And
and in reference to the bunnies, I guess the lionhead bunnies.
yeah,
I need lionhead bunnies, Rex bunnies, and lop ear bunnies. So bunnies, no matter what kind of bunnies of any sort.
gotcha.
And then the apology for the caps lock, but no need to apologize. We love it.
You're intense about the bunnies. I know, I get it.
For sure. We're all intense about the bunnies. And then shared this interview on my community post. So myself and comics, thank you very much. You are
Thank you so much.
much too kind. Absolutely. And speaking of the campaign,
Yeah.
James would like to know if there's any scoop on the Kickstarter tier rewards or / extras.
I'm going to see if I can get some extras done, but one of those extras is that collector's box that I was talking about. So that's kind of like a scoop. I'm trying my best to make that happen, and we're going to see if we can get some. We got to accept those cookies. Yeah, accept all those cookies. You're gonna have a box blocking everything on your screen.
Oh, there we go. I'll get it.
And I gotta update this now because those panels there that were in black and white, I have color for them now.
Sweet.
When I put this banner together, I was like, I need to get something up, and I don't have enough colored art. So I did as much as I could. But since then, we've had a lot more art come in.
And you've got like a fair amount of followers too.
Yeah, 75.
75 followers is pretty good. And so anyone who's in the chat or anyone who might be watching this later on, do not despair. Go on, click notify on launch, hit that click button. That's so when So-Called Living is ready to rock and roll, you are the first to know.
And I appreciate, like, if it wasn't for all the people that supported us, like, this wouldn't have happened. So it's amazing. And the community you build, you start from nothing, right? And you build this community of people who are like legit fans. And it's great when like I have fans come over and they introduce me to their families.
Yes, that's
Right?
cool.
It's amazing. So and like we've become a part of their lives, right? It's really cool. So and yeah, I don't know. So I'm just giddy. I'm just smiling all the time. It's like it's great. It's great to see that how everything's going. And for some an unknown that just came out of nowhere and an unknown in the comic book industry just to show up and put a book like this together and have the success it did is great.
Yeah, and if you take a look in the comment section, I just shared the link for um, the pre-launch page. So if you are able to share that, that's amazing. And I'll also be putting it in the description once the podcast is over, once the live stream is done.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention to back up to so I'm picking up random things on my desk now, just holding them.
Right.
Is to answer back to the Todd McFarlane question a bit. That's how I got started. Was McFarlane, his art drew me in, and then as far as stories go, what really the writers who really taught me that writing can kind of change your opinion on books was Bendis, Brian Michael Bendis, when he wrote the Avengers, and I forgot what that was. It Disassembled? Did he do Disassembled? I can't remember.
Disassembled, yeah.
So did he do that one? It was because we did.
Let me double check that. So while you can continue your story.
So he once he started doing Avengers stuff and the Ultimate Universe stuff, I just like I fell in love with it. I was like, oh, this is great, and he made me fall in love with comics like all over again, right? And or took me to another level of appreciation, and then you got like Robert Kirkman, who did Walking Dead and Invincible, and that was like, wow, this is awesome. And I like that he can. Like, I don't know how much flack he gets for creating characters like Negan, but because like I put one line in So-Called Living, and people are like, he's homophobic. Like, I'm absolutely not. But and actually, even the line wasn't. It was just misunderstood. But the fact that he could write a character like Negan that's just like a terrible, terrible thing, and nobody thinks like Robert Kirkman's a terrible person, or Mark Millar, he writes bad guys like he knows them, like he is a bad guy himself. Like the way he writes them, they're very violent. And I hope people appreciate the fact that these guys are just telling stories and they're trying not to let outside forces kind of, I guess, mold their characters for them. Do you know what I mean? Or like stop their characters from evolving. Because I've seen comments like that before where people have brought in and be like, oh, you can't say that in your comic. Your character can't do that. Not for me. People talking about other comic books saying your character can't do this or you can't do that. They can't behave like this. They can't say that because you're going to hurt somebody's feelings. I was like, yeah, I get it. There's people out there that are jerks. You have to be true to your characters. They're out there. I don't think I really have anybody in So-Called Living that kind of pushes that envelope. I have no Negans, right? But anyways, that was another thing where it's like, it's cool that you should be able to, like, you should, as a writer, you should be able to just create your characters and let loose and don't think it's like a reflection on who you are, because it isn't.
But it's hard though, right? Like it's like you're always going to be judged on these things for sure. But I guess like you need to have those kind of characters that so your heroes or whomever are the ones that have to overcome stuff, right? And once you have it where what's the word I'm looking for, where it's totally sanitized, for lack of a better word, then you kind of lose the ability to tell stories. And I'm not saying to like go overboard or to be offensive or whatever. But kind of like the job of the writer is to show the spectrum of humanity and how your characters are going to navigate all of that.
Yeah, it's like give your characters personalities. Not everybody has to be a dick, right? But at the same time, don't be limited, give people a range, give people, there's a range of people and personalities and how people react. And there's things you don't like. Doesn't mean they shouldn't necessarily be in your story. Let them be in your story.
Yeah, absolutely. Myself in comics. Thank you very much for adding that to the community.
Yes, thank you.
Much appreciated. And yeah, it is difficult. And I used to review The Walking Dead, right? So I used to get screeners from them and I review them on a weekly basis. And I noticed that, and here's the thing about like adaptations, that sometimes it's a double-edged sword. The spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched the show or read the comics, but when Negan and Glenn have their confrontation, for the comics, it's a seminal event, right? Really sets up Negan, sets up the stakes, everything. And the way they depicted it on television, which was pretty bang on, they never recovered viewership wise. They suffered from that moment on to the end of the show and then off into the spin-offs. That turned off so many viewers that it was absolutely noticeable.
That was actually the last episode I saw, but not because of that, not because it turned me off. I just fell off on a whole bunch of shows because my life got so busy with my YouTube channel,
right,
and work and doing everything. I just happened to fall off on that episode, but not because of it. Because I remember seeing that episode, and because I've read the comic book all the way through, so like the series all the way through. So when that scene was coming, you're like, it's spoiled, it's ruined. I know what's going to happen. And then what they did in the show, I don't know, not to ruin it if anybody saw it, like with the way they did it at first, you're like, oh, they didn't do it, and then they're like, oh, but they did.
Right.
that was I thought that was so clever, because I was like, I know this is coming. I was like, it was so good in the comic book, and I didn't see it coming in the comic book, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that. It was that oh my god moment in the comic.
Yeah. But
they pulled it off in the show, and still managed to stay true to the comic book. And it's like shocked people who knew it. I was like, I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I still don't know how they got it past the censors, but that's just me.
I think when you're bringing in that much money, they're gonna be like, just let it go.
Yeah, ad revenue for sure.
But I thought they did a good job. I wouldn't say that's a case of like they did it better in the TV show than they did the comic, because I thought they were both equally good for what they were. But this is an unpopular opinion as far as like book to movie screen adaptations. But I like the Watchmen movie better than I do the Watchmen comic.
Okay, that's completely fair.
I like because I never, maybe it's because I read it late. Like I read Watchmen late, and I never really got into this whole like giant Muppet. Just like she blows up in the middle of the city.
Oh, you mean the squid or whatever?
Yeah, it was pretty much. It was a giant puppet filled with goo. Just flew up on the street, and I was like, And, like I like the whole driving force of the story was great. But then you see, but in the movie, they kept the movie like the same, but they changed one little thing. No Muppet, and the way they changed it, I thought tied in better with the story. I'm trying to say without ruining anything, but I thought they tied it even better. Like they didn't have to change anything. Everything was already there. So I thought the whole like the squid at the end, I thought that was kind of just came out of nowhere. And I was like, I know they were building up to it. You didn't know what they were doing. They're doing something. And I'm like, squid. But in the movie, it's everything that's built up to that point, and then it was still a surprise, but it's like they took everything that was building up to that point and they twisted it. You're like, oh, that's so clever. So that makes so much sense. And then the end result is all the same. It still all works.
Mm-hmm. The same, the themes and everything are the same.
Yeah.
It just like, imagine seeing that on screen in that film. You'd be like, what? And I'm sure that there are purists out there that are like, we need the squid.
Yeah. I know.
Whatever it was. Right.
I remember seeing the trailer for that the first time. I sat there, I watched it, and I turned over to my buddy. I remember it was my buddy Eric. I turned over to him, and I was like, that squid part at the end is going to suck. That's the first thing that popped into my head, because that's what killed me about the book. I was like, it's a great book. It's a great book. I just that one part.
How do they sell that? That's a good point.
Yeah.
How do they sell that?
I didn't know, and how they did it was they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they took care of it.
So is there anything that you're reading now or watching now, like television wise or comics that you keep current on?
Yeah, well, comic books I fell behind a lot. I'm actually about 10 weeks behind on comics. That's the same age as my newborn.
That makes sense.
Watchmen has no bunnies, but if it did, that would have made more sense than the comic. Giant wave bunnies just shows up in Manhattan. Anyways, I was gonna say, so yeah, I'm behind on my comics, and the last thing I read was actually I bought some back issues of Miles Morales Spider-Man because I really kind of wanted to see how what's her name, Rabble, which is like some girl with like powers where she can talk to machines type of thing. I saw her in a later issue, so I was like, I want to see that. So I go back and buy a back issue of that, or how like his clone came to be. What's his name? Why am I trying to blank on his name? His like deformed giant. Miles Morales has a big deformed giant clone. I can't remember his name. I'm trying to completely blank.
His version of Kane, essentially, because he unfortunately went through a period where it was like they took all of Peter's storylines and just gave him the Miles. Like, just let him give him new adventures, new legacy, whatever.
Yeah, but it's very hard to convince people. I think who make money being like, oh, let's not do the thing that made us money before. I was like, But so other than comics, I'm a little falling behind on that because of the baby. But what I am catching up on is Star Wars, because I've been on a Star Wars kick for some reason. I was like, you know what? There's a lot of Star Wars things I've missed. Like I think I saw season 2 of Mandalorian. I haven't seen any Andor. And I didn't see like any Acolyte. I didn't see Ahsoka, like all those shows. Like I didn't see any of that. I've seen all the movies. Like if it was in the theater, I went to go watch it.
Right.
But there's so much happening, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it in timeline order.
Got it.
So I'm what timeline order-ish, because once you get to Clone Wars, you commented on this at London Comic Con. You said that Clone Wars, the series, is out of order, and I went to online to see what's the order it should be watched in, and I was like, oh, that's complicated. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to watch the series straight. Mm-hmm. And then as I'm watching, I was like, wait a second. This character was broken out of prison. Then I watched another episode where he goes into prison, and then there's another episode later where they hunt him down for breaking out of prison. I was like, hold on. What's going on? But it's all out of order. But I watched like the Acolyte. I really liked the Acolyte. I really liked it. And then I watched that's when episode 1, 2, and 3 come in, and then you watch the Clone Wars movie and the Clone Wars show. I believe that's the order. I forget. I've written down on my phone. But once Clone Wars is over, I think it goes back to episode. No, sorry, it goes Acolyte episode 1, episode 2, Clone Wars movie, Clone Wars the show, then episode 3. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, but today I did watch Marvel Zombies, the animated series.
Well, that came up in my queue. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet.
Yeah, I was on the Stairmaster. I was like, let's watch some Clone Wars, and I saw the banner, and I was like, let's watch this. So I got through an episode and a half on the Stairmaster. So it was pretty good. I liked it. I really liked the voice acting and the writing so far. I thought it was really good. The animation is brilliant. And I thought they did a good job with Kamala, like just the way she talks. She's kind of in the background. She was making comments that people aren't necessarily paying attention to. Like she's seen where she's like, I don't trust these guys or whatever. I thought she does these little one-liners that kind of like run in the background.
She's a great character. Like I don't read her books, but she's great on screen. Like she's a great character.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the series so far. Oh,
Jamie's heading out. I have to jet. All the best on the Kickstarter, Mark, and thank you, Comics Asylum, for sharing and supporting indie comics and creators. I'll catch up on the rest of this podcast ASAP. Cheers, all. Jamie, thanks for joining in, and take care tonight.
Thanks, buddy.
For sure. Myself in Comics says I have to finish Andor, Ashoka, Obi-Wan. What else? LOL. There's so much.
I did see Obi-Wan. I did see that when that came out.
Right. And you haven't hit Andor yet, have you?
No.
Okay.
But I'm gonna watch. I'm rewatching everything. I've seen episode 1, 2, like 1, 2, 3, but I'm gonna watch those again. One was the hardest one. I actually fell asleep at the theater watching that, and it was the middle of the day. Like when it came out, I was at like a noon showing.
That was a hard watch for me personally. That was a hard watch.
It was a hard watch.
It was a hard watch.
And I was first in line, so I got whatever seats I wanted. I was first in line because I got there so early. They didn't know not to let people in yet. So I waited in line, but inside the theater, and I was like, "There's nobody here." So me and my buddy was like, "There's leather couches over there. Let's go sit on the leather couches." So we went to the leather couches. We're ordering drinks, and we're just chatting, getting foods and shit. And then all of a sudden, we see somebody dressed as like Princess Leia and a Wookiee in the distance, and they're coming through the security thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I think people are coming. Let's go back to line. So we walked all the way, got back in line, and then people started lining up behind us. And I was like, how's everybody coming in at once? I don't understand. Was there a bus? And then we found out that they started the line outside. So there were people waiting for like 3 or 4 or 5 hours outside. But we got to the theater 10 minutes before that. And they let us inside. Nobody knew any better and nobody was going to kick us out. So, because a bunch of teenagers working there, they're like, it's not really. So they just let us stay there. That was great. It was the most comfortable line setup I ever had. And just like order beers and some snacks, sitting on leather couches. And I got in there, and the ending scene, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, well, too bad, it's over. But there's the ending scene where it cuts between Anakin in space, right? He's flying the thing, and then it goes back to the sword fight between Darth Maul.
Duel of the Fates.
Yeah. So I'm in this theater, and before the fight, I'm out, right? And then they start fighting. It's like, da, 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 and I wake up. And then just before it goes to space, the music tones down as it goes to space because different scenes, so the music tones down. I'm out again. So basically, and every time the sword fight came up, I woke up, I was like, it was either like it woke me up or something or music, and I woke up. I went back to sleep. I woke up. I went back to sleep. And then toward the end, it was like, okay, they're giving people awards, and I was like, I'm just barely staying awake. Okay, let's go. I'm dying here. And then I was home the next day. I saw a Pepsi commercial. And there was Anakin was in a spaceship and he was in space. And I was like, when did this happen? So I called my buddy that was with. I was like, was Anakin ever in a spaceship in space? And he's like, yeah, that was like the whole end of the movie, man. That was like what saved the day.
You know what? You were in training for your dad years. That's all.
Oh man, so like I just saw a sword fight. I didn't know what happened between the sword fight. And what happened in between the sword fight was Anakin basically takes out the Trade Federation single-handedly. Okay. So, but I missed all of that. I missed it all. I didn't see it again until it came out on video. So
that's hilarious. So we got bye Jamie from Brittany, myself in Comics, bye James. Heading back to what you said earlier, Kamala Khan is a great character for sure. And I should rewatch her show, myself in Comics. Yeah, I liked her series as well too. I think I would say, I'm just going to say this now, Andor is the zenith of Disney's television productions. And I think that with the high of the MCU and then COVID and all the shows that came afterwards, there was an inevitable dip because you just can't do some of the stuff. I'm finding that even with a show that just ended their, I guess, first season finale was last night, which was Alien Earth, where you can put a lot of the elements and work as hard as you can and be as faithful as you can to a project and to an IP. But there's something about the television, I guess just the way that you make television, that if you don't do it a certain way, it just lags a bit. It just like there's something missing. And Alien Earth, like I was invested enough to watch the first season, and I'm still kind of like, because of some of the themes and some of the decisions that they've made, where it's kind of like, I know they want to make their own stuff and I know they want to chart their own course because there's enough Alien movies and Predator lore and whatnot, but there's just something with how they're telling that story that you're kind of like, and I find it was the same way with Star Wars, where let's not talk about 7, 8, 9, but they're just certain missteps that I think were taken in a few of the projects. When you get to Andor, you're like, yeah, that's how it should be. That's peak TV again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I did watch about like 20 minutes of Andor when it was new, like the first 20 minutes,
Mhm.
and I think Brittany was not interested, and we went to bed and we never went back to it again.
I'm just telling you, I binged it because I never did watch it, and I binged all 2 seasons, both seasons, and then I went straight to Rogue One again. That's how good Andor is. So if you get chance once, you get
I will. I'll get a
some-
chance. I watch it when I am trying to go to sleep now because usually I read a book, but I've been going to bed so late.
Right.
I'm just too tired, so I just turn it on. And as much as I do like Clone Wars, it's got this special ability to put me to sleep. Like 2 minutes after I turn it on, I turn it on and I'm like,
you know what? You know what movie? It's Matt Reeves' Batman does that for me. There's just something about the pacing, and I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing, but there's something about that movie where it's like it just puts me out. I don't know if it's the wavelength or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the movie. It's a little long, it's a little dark, but yeah, I'm ready to snooze with that one.
Yeah, I got it. But the Clone Wars is turned into that. Like I've got, you always you go to bed and sometimes you get trapped on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And you're scrolling. You're like, I gotta go to sleep. This keeps me up forever. It's like they know how to interest you too much. So my brain's like, so I gotta turn it off. I was like, I'm wide awake now. Might as well watch an episode. Like that thing's gonna put me to sleep. Clone Wars, instantly. Like, I don't know what it is, and I enjoy it. I'm enjoying Clone Wars, but it just puts me to sleep right away. And but yeah. So did you see Ahsoka?
I think I saw bits of it because I think that's where Luke shows up and just kicks ass, right?
I've never seen Ahsoka. I don't know.
Yeah, because there's a great shot.
Okay.
And so where Luke kind of shows up, not to kind of spoil anything, but it's everything that you wanted for that character post what was it? Not Rise of Skywalker, the one before that. The Ryan Johnson one. I've blocked that out of my mind. Not the Last Jedi. Maybe it's the Last Jedi. Can't remember. But yeah. So and I thought that for a character that kind of got its start in comics and cartoons,
mm-hmm.
Rosario Dawson looks amazing as the character. And
she does
the character quite well.
I've seen some images and some clips and trailers, and like she looks great as that character. So I thought that was great casting. Yeah. Speaking of great casting, you see the guy that cast for Tombstone?
Okay, you should be a producer on this show because that's where I'm going next. Okay,
that is awesome.
Because we're gonna hit that. We're gonna hit that, and then also anyone who is an X fan, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised because. And I'm not quite sure where this came from, but there is footage or of some sort of marketing product or something that's coming out that has all of the Doomsday characters as they're going to look, and it's on like either a quilt or a thing. Have you seen it?
A thumbnail.
So there is. Okay, I'm just going to share it, and then we'll get to Tombstone. Absolutely amazing.
Do you allow alcohol in your show?
Yeah, sure.
That would be your little mini fridge. I'm thirsty.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see if I can find it here. So this image popped up of James Marsden, right? Uh-huh. And this is a close-up of a larger piece of a larger image. And so for everyone who wanted, especially after X-Men 97, everyone who wanted the X-Men to be in their blue and yellow, you're getting it. James Marsden is going to have his X-Men 97,
Yeah.
or
Oh, and that's I see we got Picard as Xavier.
Picard as Xavier. We've got
I love that guy as Nightcrawler.
yes, Alan Cumming as
Yeah.
Nightcrawler. We've got Sentry,
Mm-hmm.
Bill Pullman's kid. I forget his first name. There is the new Falcon. And so all the characters you can tell, but look at that right there.
Yeah.
We're going to get James Marsden in the blue.
Oh, and we got Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yes, Channing Tatum as Gambit. And then I think this is going to be, I think it's Rebecca Romaine. I think she's back as Mystique.
Cool. Like I'm digging this. Yeah, I saw it and I was like, no, I'm just not gonna look. I'm not gonna look. But
yeah, so look away if you don't want that.
No, but I'm not a fan of the Namor. That's who it looks like down there beside Mystique. And between Mystique and Loki, that looks like Namor. I'm not a fan of that Namor. He's I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I wasn't a fan of that movie. Maybe that's why it was. I didn't hate it. There's no MCU movies I hate. Like I'm a fan of all most superhero movies. So I don't really. But that if nobody's seen it, the last battle scene on that barge, whatever the hell that was,
right?
I hated that scene. It was so boring. It was just like all water, and then they were on a plate. On a plate, nothing. It was so boring. Like you come from like endings like Endgame where they're in the forest and they're running around and there's just like Wakanda everywhere, and then they're like, let's go on the water, on a plate, on the most boring looking boat ever, and we're gonna fight here. And it was just so blah.
I do have one question. At what point does this Namor like get involved with Sue when obviously the Fantastic Four, right? Because I don't, because the way that they're both presented, especially this Namor, I don't see how they're ever going to have them interact in that way.
The most that I think they would ever do if they get them together is they'll have something for the fans where they kind of look at each other and a little flirtatious. You know what I mean? That's all they'll do.
A little bit of a nod and a wink.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything further than that. So, but yeah, the thing is crazy. What do you think of the idea? I heard this once. I don't know how I feel about it, but the idea of like that there'll be like cartoon universes appearing mixed in with live action ones.
Oof, that I haven't heard.
Yeah, that was a while ago, where it was like X-Men 97, X-Men, like the actual cartoon versions would appear.
I hope not, especially since you've already got.
I agree.
Marsden, right? In the costume, and I think you've already kind of gone that way with Spider-Verse.
I love Spider-Verse.
Right?
I love Spider-Verse so good
because they hint at the Toby and the Andrew Garfield universes, right? So they're already there. But I think especially with how loaded these movies are going to be, right? And we'll get to another casting, not necessarily confirmation, but rumor that we were talked about last week. Mm-hmm. But apparently it's going ahead with it. It's hard to get your characters, and because you write books with like multiple characters in it. Mm-hmm. It's hard to give everyone enough time to be developed and shine, right? Mm-hmm. So how much screen time are we going to get from all these characters, right? Is it amount to like 4 days shooting, which is like 10 minutes of screen time in an hour and a half? Like it'll be very interesting to see how they go.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be some, they've got to pick some characters. They've got to pick like their top 10, you know what I mean? Or whatever. And everybody else is just going to be like background characters, supporting characters. They'll show up to do like what they come in for super punchy and like, oh my God, and gone. it's like the Captain Marvel in Endgame. She wasn't there the whole time. And then she shows up and it's like, oh my God. And then she's gone. So,
right.
Like he did her part. Like everybody came in there and everybody got their fan moment. Like, oh yeah, he's doing it. look, Black Panther's just running. He's got the ball. Passes it to Peter. So I can't remember the order that those events took place.
Right.
But I think it was Black Panther, Peter, then Captain Marvel. But at some point, Ant-Man had it. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's a bit of forced screen time for sure. But
But
you
yeah,
had mentioned already that Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man movie, has some casting news.
mhm.
And we're going to get one, and this is from the Legacy Nerds post. I pulled this off of Facebook,
Mhm.
and reported on other outlets that Marvin Jones III is going to play, who played Tobias Whale in the DC TV series Black Lightning. He's going to be Tombstone, which
He looks awesome as Tombstone.
awesome. I think it absolutely works. And Tombstone is a boss character.
And they better do his voice right. Like,
If they don't do his voice right, then there's
I want that gravelly, whispery, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, where it's almost like, bro, you need a lozenge,
yeah,
and some lime and water or something.
that's right. That picture, a little lower picture of him. If I saw that first, I'd be like, meh, I don't know. If I saw the top one, nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I've never seen what was he? He was in Black Bolt. No,
Black Lightning. Black Lightning.
Black Bolt's the Marvel guy and the Inhumans king.
Yes. Yeah. Speak softly, but yet not so softly.
But yeah, because I've never seen that. It's on my I'll get. Hey, look, Bond's here. It's quite the handsome profile pic. Hey, look at.
Yeah, he's a stunner. Vaughn's a stunner for sure.
But yeah, I thought this cast was wicked. But
Yeah.
I hope they do. When I saw the casting for what's his face in Superman, the guy that all meta something, the guy with all the
Mr. Terrific.
the Metamorpho. That's it. When I saw the casting for him, I was like, hey, that's great casting. But then I saw him in the movie, and I was like, that's not really how I kind of pictured Metamorpho. Like, he looked right, but his very soft kind of I'm not saying he wouldn't be a soft guy, but it almost seemed like childlike in the movie. And I was like, it's not really what I pictured. As appearance wise, I thought they did a good cast, but as far as the way he delivered that role, I was like, eh. So I hope like this guy looks like he can deliver the role, man.
I think so too.
That's the right attitude. That above picture.
Yeah,
that's too. You could just put him in that costume.
You know what? And I'm a Spidey stan. If you want to keep the beard and have him be bald or whatever, that's great. But what I think is going to be interesting then is, because he's tied to Robbie Robertson, who works at the Bugle, how are they going to tie that in, if at all? Right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So does that mean that Robbie Robertson gets introduced to the MCU? Because he did show up in the Raimi films.
Yeah. Did he? Who was he in the Raimi? Was he in just in the? Oh yeah, he was. I remember now. I forgot that actor. I forgot that he was in there. It's been a while since I've seen those.
Yeah. The names. He passed away, and he was in Do the Right Thing and stuff with Spike. His name Bill something. I'll check it out. Bill Nunn. But so it'll be interesting to see, because Jonah doesn't even work at the Bugle. He's more of a Alex Jones kind of podcasty kind of guy.
But I want to know if I don't think they'll bring Robbie into this, because I know his story and Robbie's story gets really intertwined later on, especially with around the time that they were doing the gang wars.
Yeah, in Spectacular Spider-Man especially.
Yeah. So, but I'm curious if they're going to give him some sort of dry, crackly, make him look like stone.
Yeah.
Because but how far are they going to take that? I hope they don't cover up his face too much, because he's got a great face for this role.
I think the greatest sin along those lines is Willem Dafoe. You got Willem Dafoe's regular face, and you put that behind a Power Rangers-esque type of mask, it's crazy.
I hated that costume so bad. I refer to it as a Power Rangers costume. And the moment I knew I absolutely despised that costume was when he had Spider-Man on the roof and he was unconscious and he was standing there with his knees bent. He's like, aha! So I was like,
Right.
I hate all of this. I hate So they did such a good job when they brought him back and they fixed it. And the first thing they did was break that mask. I was like, good.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
You got a guy that looks like a goblin. You don't need to put him behind a mask.
You could say that. And myself, it comes as OMG, LOL, right? For sure. And something that we were talking about last week is the Man of Tomorrow, which is the Superman sequel. And J-Man, who you should check out his channel, as well as Decepticon, who we do some retrospective looks at the FF, as well as some old movies. We were they were on the show last week, and we were talking about Man of Tomorrow because it's basically going to be a Superman and Lex movie, right? And we were trying to figure out. Oh, hold on. Just before we continue, all right, going to head out for the night. Great love to your works. Thank you, Myself and Comics, for joining us, as well as for the awesome comments. Totally appreciate it, and thanks for sharing everything. And here, joining the show, coming in like Batman right at the end, is Vaughn Joseph. How you doing, Vaughn?
Here I am to save the day.
So before we head off back to, because you're not going to enjoy potentially the villain that actually is going to be in Man of Tomorrow. What did you think of James Marsden? I don't know if you've seen it. James Marsden in the X-Men 97, the blue and yellow, early 90s, late 80s, early 90s outfit. What do you think of it? For Avengers Doomsday? Are you psyched to have your X-Men in yellow and blue in the MCU?
I'm psyched. I saw it leaked like a while ago, but I don't know how it's going to look because it's one of those costumes that's, I feel it's a little bit difficult because you got all the pouches. You were in the pouch era.
That's true.
Things, right? So it's like pouch and satchel era, right? Don't get me wrong. I am a satchel rocker all the way.
Right.
But it's going to be hard. But
I think they're gonna pull off a good job with the costume. I think it's gonna look great.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because, a lot of that stuff now is they have it as practical up to a point and then they do all costume. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful.
There's some weird things that they decide to do with CGI. I can't remember any examples off the top of my head, but it's like you'll have this great costume. But it would be like they have a great costume, but the X-Men thing is CGI'd in.
Yeah. Well, it was like the whole thing where they shot all of the Avengers with their old costumes for is Infinity War the last one?
Mm-hmm.
They shot them all with their old costumes and they did all CG suit replacements on top
Really?
Yeah, so like when you see them walking in, when Tony's bringing in all the equipment for like the time caper, they originally were shot with clean plates with all their old costumes, and then the white suits were CGI'd on top of.
Yeah, that was in the trailer. The trailer, you saw them walking down. They didn't have their white suits. They had their regular clothes on.
And then later on, but even more so later when you see some of the post-production houses, when they show some of their behind the scenes, one house just did all costumes.
Man.
Yeah. It's crazy some of all the deception that went into that trailer. I believe if you look back at it, there's like when they go to Thor's place and they open up the door, I don't remember if it's like different people, but they don't have all the people there. It's just like just Hulk or not Rocket or just Rocket, not Hulk. I can't remember. But it was like different people opening up the doors and like everything was changed. It's like, oh, you sly bastards. And you see scenes like that looks familiar, but not. Like there's something happened, something was missing, something.
Or where was that scene from the trailer that got me so hyped?
Yeah. That never showed up again. And I think it's going to be a couple of those in this new trailer whenever that trailer will have to drop on Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's big enough that's happening between now and that movie that they're going to be able to do. To hype people up. It's going to have to be Super Bowl. Right? So we'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
we just mentioned the casting of Tombstone, which I think is a great cast.
I saw that too. Yeah, that was really great.
We're kind of looking forward to that. They're really going for the street level, with Punisher.
Yeah, Punisher, Tombstone. There was somebody else they mentioned as well too.
Well, hopefully DD and Kingpin.
I don't think DVD's coming in, and I don't think Kingpin's coming in either. I have a feeling some of that stuff is going to left back to the Disney Plus series and some of that other stuff. But
or maybe someone who's new, like Mr. Negative. I think that'd be.
I think there was rumor of Mr. Negative coming in as the total big bad.
That would be great. I'm totally down with that.
I think Tombstone is just an adjacent, street level monster.
As long as Tombstone isn't a hench, don't make Tombstone a hench, because if he's a hench, then I'm out.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they do it right. I mean, the big thing is, are they actually going to make their deadline to get this movie out before Avengers? Because with him being injured now too, right? That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. News alert for anyone who is not aware. Tom Holland suffered a concussion on set.
Yeah.
And so filming is delayed. And he's like, I don't know, is he the Tom Cruise of that generation, where he does a lot of the stunts? Because he's a phenomenal athlete and a gymnast in his own right. And so he can do a lot of those flips and a lot of that stuff.
And I have a feeling that this announcement of the Tombstone actor coincides with this, because what they're probably doing is they're going to switch out and do the pickup shots with whatever his scenes are while Tom does his rehab and stuff like that. Because it was all quiet and nobody knew this actor was going to be part of this until now. So I think it's one of those situations where they were eventually going to cast this person.
They want to get ahead of it, sort of thing.
Pardon?
It's probably going to leak and they want to get ahead of it. Like if they start
shooting. I think it's a little bit of that. I think it's also a little bit of a situation where they're probably going to do those shots later, right? But I think they've pivoted because now they don't have Tom. So they had to push up the casting and kind of get that out, because they're going to shoot his shots and do all the other pickup stuff in the meantime.
So he's on a flight to Scotland then?
Probably.
If that's where his scenes are being shot.
Yeah.
Are they going to use, what's his name? I don't know the actor that he was in Luke Cage. And I think it was in Luke Cage where he was going to be Blade.
Oh, Mahershala
Ali?
No, they're not using him. I mean,
he was going to be Blade, right? And then that got canceled.
That's indefinitely postponed as it stands right now, from what everybody's saying.
I like the idea of him as Blade.
I kind of do too. I think it's just like they had with the whole interim time when they're trying to do all these TV shows. I guess what happened was there was just a lot of mismanagement and misorganization of how they wanted to do things, and it just never took off to the ground.
And they rewrote the script like 4 times.
I have a feeling as well too. It might be a situation where whether it's him or somebody else has final say on the script, and it just wasn't living up to the quality of what they envisioned. So that's why I kept on pushing around. Now they're saying that they're going to do a Midnight Suns now instead, because
Strider in there? Because maybe is part of Midnight Suns, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. But I think right now that they're grasping at straws. I mean, I would just shelf it altogether and move on to something else, because there's no point bringing Blade back, because at the same time too, you're not doing the Dark Knight, not the Dark Knight, but you know what I mean? The Internals is shelved as well too, right? So that tie-in is kind of irrelevant as well too now.
Yeah.
So it's a hard call on what they should do and what they shouldn't do. I mean, really right now they got to finish one thing at a time and push forward.
I don't mind if they take their time and postpone.
Oh, me neither. I'm all about them taking their time.
I got a lot of things to do before. Like, there's no rush.
A lot of stuff to catch up on.
Oh, totally.
I think give people a little bit of breathing room and have them miss it a bit. You know what I mean? I don't think people are gonna forget it. I think people are gonna be like, yeah, something new came back. It's not like when like Star Wars went on hiatus for how many years before they made
a generation.
Yeah, and then they made new ones. It's not like people were like, bah, Star Wars, that's so 20 years ago. Nobody was like, Star Wars, that's so 20 years ago, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think they're afraid to like lose this thing. I don't know if they understand how much of a fan base was already there. So I don't know if they understand comic book fans as much as they say they do.
I think you both might be right. It's feeding the machine.
Yes, we need
Right.
machine a little bit, right? You got to keep the perpetual ticker stock go up kind of stuff to
Hmm.
keep the shareholders happy and appeased, right?
Yeah, as a creative person myself, I'm always annoyed. I get the reason,
Oh, totally. Yeah.
but I don't have to. I don't have to
You
like
don't
it.
have to like it. Yeah, definitely don't have to like it.
Hey, it just is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of, because like we just had the Superman movie, and we were talking about it last week, Vaughn, with J Man and Sean,
Yeah.
and Jay as well too, Mega J Retro, and it's kind of been confirmed that the villain you don't want to see
Yeah. I saw that too. Yeah.
is the villain that we're gonna see,
Yeah.
right? So
Who's the
James
villain?
Gunn confirms Brainiac for Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow. And if this image doesn't kind of give it away,
Yeah.
then there it is.
Like,
Right?
be a little bit
There's-
more subtle. Be a little bit more subtle.
I
right?
wonder what. There's been so many versions of Brainiac.
That's the thing. I don't know what version that they're going to do. I mean,
Like, I feel like when people are writing Brainiac, they'll just, how powerful do you need this guy to be? Is he going to be like, just going toe to toe with Superman? Is he like world conquering, a universally feared entity? Like they've gone so far with that character.
yeah. I
And
think they're going to have to do something. Well, they already do. They're already talking that the universe outside of the thing exists because you got Green Lantern coming before that. You have
Right.
Hawkgirl and all this other stuff happening, right? So the universe is quite large. Supergirl's going to be out before then, and she's going to be trotting around the universe and all that kind of stuff, right? So I don't know.
I like the girl they cast as Supergirl.
I don't mind her. I feel she's just a little bit too young looking in sometimes.
And I always felt she was like the younger cousin. Like I don't know,
She's the younger, older cousin because she was sent off first. She was just in
Yeah.
space longer.
Yeah.
she's one of the few super people that like. I feel like that's why I don't read Superman anymore. There's so many super people.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many super people there are.
Super family.
Yeah.
Super family. That's true though.
That's DC, right? DC was always known for that word. They have the perpetual
Bat family,
Yeah.
Super family, and
Yeah.
Flash family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
right? All derivatives.
but it's I don't know. There's something about like I have yet to see a duplicate of Superman that I like better than
Superman.
duplicates of Spider-Man.
Mhm.
I mean, like I thought what they did with Miles or any of the clone stuff they've done with Ben Reilly even before, like I like that stuff better than the stuff with Superman. Maybe it's because I'm a Superman or a Spider-Man fan. I don't know, but I always felt it's been dealt with better. Maybe it's because not each of them is like a world-destroying powerhouse.
There's that too, yeah.
So
Yeah, they're all DC has all their character powers cranked up to 10, right? Versus Marvel's all about the street level in a lot of ways, right?
well, now we get
DC's
to
Dragon Ball.
But you see Avengers. Like I'm behind. Catch up on. I'm behind about 10 weeks. So and Avengers actually even more because I backburnered a lot of Avengers. But I felt like every time they finished one story, they went to another like world breaking event. And it was just one after another after another. And like they're doing world breaking events as they're dealing with like world breaking events. Like when they were doing the whole with that mutant, I forgot what it was called. The
Onslaught?
no, recently it was the gala, the Hellfire Gala. They did the whole
Yeah.
Hellfire Gala where like mutants just got messed up, and it was a whole global thing. Tony was part of that, and he played a big part of that.
Yeah, I was reading that.
And then it was the Avengers, and Tony's taking part of that. And there's a global thing where they're destroying cities. I was like, wait, these things are happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? It's too much overlap of world global things.
Yeah,
I-
like
There's always. Well, I'll wrap this up. There's always like the street level stuff, and you're like, well, why don't you ask the Avengers for help? But this for like, okay, they're busy doing other things, but there's like global like events, like they're just tearing apart cities, killing millions of people, and nobody else is doing anything. The mutants are doing it, like nobody's doing anything else, and they're doing it at the same. The stories are running in parallel. I was like, just this whole planet. It's a dumpster fire. It's too many big things all the time happening all the time. I like more street level stuff or personal stories.
But here's where I think you both are absolutely 100% correct. It's like if you're always listening to stuff at 11, then you got to go to 15 to get a new jolt, right?
Yes.
A new high. And so you're right, Mark. Vaughn, same thing. There are no small stories. There are no medium stories, right? Everything, the stakes are like DEFCON 7, as opposed to what kind of characterization are we building through what these characters are doing, where their powers are, yes, they're large, but they're still facing something that, say, Spider-Man can't fight on his own. But it doesn't mean that the world is over. It just means that they might lose, and the world's in a worse place, or a city's in a worse place, or someone beats them and gets away with a heinous crime. But everything has to be this massive event that, so the next time you have an event, it doesn't mean anything.
It's the only thing I find, like, you read enough comics for enough years, and it's like you need good writing to keep you interested, because the stories, it's all like, it doesn't matter if you die, you'll get over it. You know what I mean? And the good guys are going to win. And it's just, it's always going.
I'm laughing. You're dead. That's a flesh wound. You'll be good.
Yeah, it is. Everybody gets over it. Like,
we'll see you in 6 months.
I used to see people come back to life, like, because I'd be away from comics for a while. I'd go back and be like, weren't you dead like 3 years ago when I read? And then, like, I'll find out, like, oh, wiki it, then I'll go read those stories. I was like, okay, that's how you get back. I gotta get it. But now I don't even care. I was like, wait, you dead? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
So I don't know who it was, but other than Bruce's parents, and I guess even like Thomas Wayne shows up in certain universes. It used to be that Uncle Ben was kind of like, and obviously Jor-El and Superman's mom. There were like maybe 5 that never came back. Like, you're dead, you're done. And now even Gwen Stacy's back, apparently.
Yeah, she's back.
I'm like, how did she come back?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's a breaking point at one point in time, because you look back, all during the 80s and a lot of the 90s, even up until the early 2000s, it was always like one major event every year and a half.
Sometimes longer than that.
Longer than, well, back as you go back, it was longer. But then they started getting closer and closer, and then they started doing the yearly thing. Now they're doing like quarterly stuff. Marvel's doing like quarterly things. Sometimes one will run through the whole year, but then mostly it's all these big quarterly events. Yeah. And just like, what are you guys doing? Right? Like, they have the whole World War Doom that's happening right now, or One World Underneath Doom. And they're already soliciting what happens next. And you're just like, let me finish the one thing first.
The one thing, if I compare Marvel and DC and their global events that they do, at least I find Marvel takes more time to tell the story, where I find DC, it's like, oh, it's a new thing. Oh, they're all being controlled. Like, they're all being controlled in their dreams. Next week, it's over. They released 6 issues in 1 week. And it was like,
the setup for Absolute DC, for the Absolute Universe, that I think it was a 4-issue miniseries or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
It went way too fast, personally. Like, and this is me complaining about all the events, but that one, storytelling wise, it was like, wow.
DC races through their events. They race through them. It's like they can't wait to get out and get another one. I'd rather just have a big event and just have these people. Like, yeah, I think you get more story out of that, because then, yeah, you're in a big event, like, you're in it, and you could, like, if you have decent writers, then you can keep people interested in it and like what's happening. Look at The Walking Dead. It was one issue, one problem. Not issue is in book, but an issue is a problem. Where it's like, we have to survive the zombies, and how are we going to get to that? And they came up with like bumps along the way, but that was a great way to tell the story, because it was really one story and just events that happened as this overarching story was happening, right? So that was their big event, was the zombie apocalypse, and they kept that going for years, and they kind of tell those people's stories. It's like, You could do that with superheroes, but they just don't want to keep them tied up so long in one story. They want to like put them here, put them there, and put them there, and cross over here, and cross over there.
Yes. I think it's the fix, right? It's the high. It's going back to the high of, you got to sell books. Got to sell books. Like look at what was it that just came out that did crazy numbers? I'm drawing a blank right now. Was it Batman?
Batman number one.
Yeah, Batman number one. Relaunch number one. Sell, 500,000 copies. A whole bunch of blind bags. Now the new thing is blind bags. Carlos got another gold foil one.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Our friend Carlos at Gotham Central Comics and Collectibles.
Yeah, I just saw today he posted. I think this is like his third blind bag now of gold.
That's amazing.
I want to know how many ordered overall.
Those are the ones that are like you don't know what cover's inside, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I bought one of those. I don't even know. I was like, I don't know what this is. I'll buy one. I'll check it. Yeah. But I was like, I never even opened mine.
Yeah, me. I haven't opened one. I didn't get a blind bag. I have a couple blind bags of Battle Beast, but even Battle Beast that sold 400,000 units as well too this year.
Yeah, that went on fire. That book, Batman number one, and Youngblood, are pure fire.
Yeah,
out of recent books that have come out.
Yeah,
I got Battle Beast number one. That was it. I never read any. I never read any of it. I got a chance.
Yeah, I gotta make it to the store as well too because David Finch's new book came out, Sleepwalkers.
Oh, that's right.
That's the one he's been drawing for a number of years in this ridiculous detail. He doesn't know when to stop.
Hey, I can't wait to look at that.
Yeah.
Just for that's gonna be like an art book for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. You want to plant some foliage?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
For sure. And to move off of the news, before we moved on though, you picked up Batman Deadpool.
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of that?
Can't say I'm a big fan. How do I say this? I've seen Greg draw other stories better. So I expected more from this awe-inspiring big DC Marvel crossover, the first one in over 20 plus years. Mm-hmm. I expected a little bit better, but I don't think it's his fault. I think whoever inked him did a piss poor job, truth be told. You can kind of see some stuff within the inking that just didn't translate right. And you know how you've seen Greg's stuff enough times to kind of know, like, okay.
I've got on my shelf behind me, Unwrapped, Death of the Family, and all that kind of stuff. So I've got Capullo's stuff. I love Greg Capullo. You know how we lost our mind on that Hulk image he drew.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah.
How's the story? I picked up the variant cover, which what is it? It's like Rogue and Poison Ivy or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I can't say the story's even that great itself. It's
rarely those stories are good. Whenever you're like,
like you do some universe crossing. Awesome. Yeah. There's a couple of meta moments.
Yeah. You get them for your like the little kid in you that's like, yeah, werewolf versus vampire versus Dracula.
I mean,
yeah, I want to get it.
The only thing that I could think that I got it, and I still thought that they didn't utilize the creative teams that they had in there enough. Because some of the other creative teams, if I'm remembering right, they only got like 6 pages to do their other story crossovers. It's predominantly the Greg Capullo Batman Deadpool story, and then a couple other backup stories that I can't say had anything in it that really drew me to say that it was worth it.
Speaking of crossovers, one series I enjoyed Avengers versus Aliens, or Aliens versus Avengers.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be enjoying that.
I like that, and I haven't caught up on it, but I was liking Predator versus Spider-Man.
Yeah,
so gruesome for a Spider-Man book.
Right.
Like they take. It's like no hold barred, so they don't care that it's a Spider-Man book. It's a Predator book with Spidey in it, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty violent, and I dig it, man. I haven't caught up on it. It's because I'm behind it's part of my backlog, but I was digging that. But Godzilla stuff, I've hated everyone so far. I've just not
wow.
They're so corny. The Godzilla and Spider-Man Godzilla. I didn't buy them all. I think I picked up 1 or 2. definitely picked up at least 2. And then I picked up the Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe, or whatever. It's everybody against him, which is interesting because like when it's like Godzilla and Spider-Man, eventually they sorted out just the 2 of them. You know, Godzilla and whatever other character they sorted out. But then you have him against everybody. I was like, shouldn't one of them be able to sort this out? Because they always did.
But Godzilla can't speak. How's that working out then?
No, Godzilla can't speak. He doesn't. He just fucks shit up, and then people have to deal with it.
What's interesting to me is how whoever owns the Godzilla IP, how are they getting so much play based on the fact that it was Godzilla versus Marvel?
They also had DC too, right?
They did DC like last year, the year before that. They did a big giant
JLA, was it?
Pardon?
Was it Godzilla versus JLA?
I think so.
Yeah, it was a big crossover. They had a whole ton of covers and all kinds of stuff. And now it's Godzilla versus Marvel.
Well, it's Toho. Yeah. And then I'm assuming Legendary, which is it still a subsidiary of Warner Brothers?
I'm not too sure.
Right? So maybe they're just licensing it out.
Yeah, maybe. But it's just interesting that everybody's choosing to do.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it. The Godzilla stories, there's been enough bad ones that I'm like, I have no interest in picking them up. But the Predator ones, they've done well. Aliens have done well. Like they're not, I wouldn't say every Predator and Alien story I've ever read is gold, but I've enjoyed more than I've disliked. So
we'll have to get the trade then, because I think I liked the art in the Alien versus Marvel Avengers. Yeah.
It was the art was really good. It's I don't know if I cared for the ending, but it wasn't bad.
It's so hard to end these things though.
It was what I do like about those stories when you get them out. It's like a totally different universe, right? So you can kill people off. It's it's set like the far future where the planet's already messed up. So you just kill people off. They didn't make it. That's how they die this time.
Yeah, they're basically What If without the moniker What If, or like a DC Elseworlds.
Yeah,
right. That's essentially what it is. It'd be nice if they just went back to What If, because those are just fun.
Yeah, but I think What If's also. I never take a What If story seriously, because once it's like What If, it's always like, oh, okay, because there's so many of them not written well.
Oh,
like they get their C-list writers to put them together, and you're like, some of them are just curious. Even some of them where the title is, I can't remember what it was, but you read some of them and you're like, wow, that sounds really cool. And then you read it, you're like, wow, what a cop out on like the way they worked around and kind of weave those two things together. And it was like, I did not care for that. So I What If is another thing where I've read most of the What Ifs I've read quite a bit. I dislike, but I keep buying them because I'm like, this is going to be the one. I like this concept. No, this is going to be the one. I like that concept.
So What If's more like this weird little thing that, I don't know why I kept on buying them when I was a kid too.
Both of you guys were sucked in.
We're suckers. They were like the cheesiest catch lines and call to action lines on the covers.
Yeah.
Yet somehow you buy, like, what if Punisher became a vampire or some shit?
Something like that. And what if it ended up happening later on with is it Avengers or Secret Defenders or something, where what if Conan was in the modern times or something like that?
There was a whole bunch of bad ones, but I have a ton of them.
I remember one of them. Was like, what if Wolverine fought Conan or whatever, or what's it? I can't remember. Was it maybe that was Wolverine versus Conan? I don't remember. But Wolverine ended up in the past, and Conan messed him up like instantly because they separated. He hit him with a sword, and like Wolverine didn't see it coming. Hit him with his broadsword in the back, severed his spine, and like basically, like got all his nerves. And he was having a hard time healing. Wolverine's healing factor works however you need it. Sometimes he hits armor, and he's like perfectly healed by 10 goes at the back. And other times it takes him a while. So totally. This was one of the ones where it took him a while, where he basically had to learn how to do everything again because his nerves had to basically his brain. Everything that connected his brain to the rest of his body was separated because he got the way Conan cut him.
Interesting.
messed them up for a while. But it's one of those verses where it's like they end up being buddies at the end. It's like, we're not verses. It was a misunderstanding.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Whatever works.
It's hard to commit to those.
Yeah, totally. Well, speaking of time travel and going back and forth, Hot Toys. I don't know if you're a big collector of collectibles or even just anything along the statues or whatever.
Statues, yes. I've cut back on quite a bit though because it's out of control. I do have a giant Spawn action figure beside me, which you can't see. I have some expensive statues around here. Have you seen the Batgirl Clayface one that lights up from Sideshow?
No.
It's amazing. I have it. It's still in a box. I can't show you. It's in a box behind this couch, but it's
Sweet.
amazing. It's you should look it up. It's like Batgirl. She's standing on Clayface, and he's just like a mound of mud on the floor, and his his eyes, his mouth lit up, and I have it. And you can't see it on this couch. Like it's still in the box because I've been waiting to like tidy up this basement so I could do it proper. And I wanted to record an unboxing and put it on my channel, even though it's a board game channel. But I thought, I forgot it looks so good.
It's so good. Well,
yeah.
With that in mind, where I'm going to show Hot Toys has a 1/6 scale of the Judgment Day version of the T800. It's going for $415 Canadian. It's pretty banger looking.
Mm-hmm.
You got the arm, the different separate eyeballs, leather clothing, which is crazy.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, you can flip back the head and get in there. There's the stand, the bullets. It looks pretty banger.
So I really like these things, but I like them better in other people's houses because when you give me a choice for like, you can put different heads, you can put different hands, you can put different this. And I was like, what am I going to do with the other pieces? Because I want them all on here, and I feel like I can't just choose one. So I like less choices. I don't want decisions. I want the best hands and whatever. Somebody thought this was the best, and I want it because. For me, I'd always want to change the hands and change the clothes and do this and swap the heads and swap the feet, whatever you could swap. I want to put them in different poses. So it's too much for me. It's too much for my brain to handle. Too many things get sparked off, and I want to do it all, and I can't. So I'd rather just be at somebody else's house and be like, oh, cool. I'm not supposed to touch it anyways because it's not mine.
Yeah, for sure. Well, check this out because the Figure Hideout has a video on it. So it's on their Instagram. So check them out. So you get the gun, you get the box of roses, you have his bullet belt, and there's so many little like accessories. It's crazy.
Oh wow.
Silicone arms, and the thing doesn't bend. You get clothing like it came out of the Amazon package. Look at that. Like it's just beautiful stuff.
Yeah, they're really good. Which gun do you use? Which hand do you use? I'd want the leather jacket on it. Like, I would pick whatever option has the most stuff on it.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. That's crazy.
I'd probably do this one. Looks like it uses the most stuff.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
It is cool.
Now, I just put something in the chat that's a little bit more my speed, but let's see if Steve could.
Yeah, I'm going to share it once
I
fired one of those guns before, the ones with like.
Oh, those ones? Wow.
They're so much fun.
Oh, wow.
I had a shooting range.
Yeah. All leather too. That's wild.
Mm-hmm. I love the fact that they had the Robert Patrick Terminator open the box.
Yeah,
that was a nice touch. That's a nice touch on the video. Well done, Figure Hideout. Well done.
Oh yeah.
So this thing has a better leather jacket than I do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Saying.
By far.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the clothes.
Oh yeah.
Is that his brain or what is that? Or the splat?
Yeah.
They take out of his head.
Oh, the chip. Yeah.
in.
Oh, wow.
But you know what? I think you were saying it before, Mark. I would lose all this shit.
All these parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to put it behind glass, or you're going to lose it for sure.
I'd have to display every little bit. If I had to display this, it would be. I have to display it a little bit.
That's nuts.
That is nuts.
Okay, hold on. You said you put it in our private chat?
Yeah, in the private chat, yeah.
And so this is
Doom, baby.
Oh, okay.
My boy.
I'm looking forward to this. Is this a sideshow? Let me see. Let me see what you got for us here.
It's not a sideshow, it's another one.
Let me see here.
Since we're sharing links, I want to put this amazing statue that I purchased.
I can't for some reason. It's not showing up here. Hang on 1 second. Oh, it looks good though. Oh my god, how old is this? 2025.
Yeah, it's nice. Pretty recent.
Okay, so why isn't it not showing up?
Good old Facebook, being Facebook.
Ah, there we go. Look at the detail on that thing.
Oh, I see where it's going.
Is he medieval?
No, he's sitting on a throne.
That's pretty ornate. Man, that's pretty crazy.
And it's like 28 inches high.
Who puts this out?
This other line, Premium Collectibles. I don't know them, but they
more like a toy.
No,
like
it's
toy.
Gotcha.
It's 28 inches high.
Jesus.
Nice.
Or like 20 deep or something like that. The pictures actually have a better thing of it. The video doesn't show all of it, and it's like he's sitting on the thing, and the whole back of the statue is fully.
It's like a Game of Thrones chair.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's pure Game of Thrones type chair. Yeah.
The back row statue, I said, like if she was so huge, I love the detail in the eyes.
Yeah.
I think it was Sideshow. It was a year, like 20 years ago or something. There was a Doom statue of him sitting in a throne, and he had a cloth.
Yes.
Yes. So good sitting there. I've seen other ones that kind of try to get it off, but it wasn't as good. But it was so good. But yeah, so I shared. If you want to take a look at it,
that's the back row that you did.
It's my latest. It's my latest one that I picked up.
Oh wow, that's a nice one too.
Amazing. I don't go to Sideshow because I want everything there.
Yeah, it's definitely really addictive. Yeah.
I bought a print there once, and I paid to get it framed with them because you can buy the print framed, and it was of like Clark kissing Lois. It was a really nice print. Yeah, look at that.
Wow, look at that with the eyes. That's amazing.
So good. Like the detail in her face is crazy, and she's huge. Like this thing is massive.
Wow. I think that was the costume that they're saying that was going to be in the movie that they shelved, or something pretty similar to this.
But the fact that like I wanted it before I knew it lit up.
Yeah, that's great.
It's just a massive thing. Do they have one of those scale photos where you can see like how massively large it is? So I don't think that.
Just by the hands alone.
Well, the person's hands.
Yeah. Look at the size of that.
21. Yeah.
That's absolutely stunning, though.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at the detail. The face is coming out of Clayface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And all those little batarangs, you like stick them in. You stick them in yourself. They're all like magnet. And the way Sideshow does their stuff now, where they're all magnetized.
All magnets, yeah.
I have some old Sideshow stuff that they're not, and but the new ones where everything just snaps together. It's amazing. So that's the non-light up option. So yeah, fabulous. The details on hers.
That looks great.
Yeah. That one I bought right away. I was like, okay, I'm going to spoil myself a little bit and get that. I also recently spoiled. But you guys play Magic the Gathering?
I do not.
I do not.
I
I have a lot of friends that do.
But I did a long time ago, and then I stopped for 18 years because I was addicted. It was like I spent all my free time making decks, and just playing with people and trying to figure out combos and looking things up.
Yeah.
Auctioning cards on eBay. Like I did so much and spent a lot of money on it. And I still have all the cards. And then at one point I stopped. I was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And now they have the Spider-Man.
Yeah, the new Spider-Man set. Yeah.
The cards were actually in Hamilton when we were at the con.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah, this weekend.
They're super expensive. Like there's one of the It's like I forgot what they're called. It's this little collector's box. It's white. It's got like a Ghost Spider on it, and I think all the cards. I don't know why, but I think they're all cards like foil or something. But if you buy that little tiny box, it's got a few packs in it. It's like over $1,000. It's like $1,200. And some places are selling for $1,500, and that's like the starting price. That's not like they've been out for a bit. That's like the MSRP. It's crazy. And then they have the regular cards, but they're still also expensive. But I think this one blew up because it got me back in. I haven't played it yet. I bought a bunch because I have a buddy that he owns the Mana Lounge, which is I think it's a chain now. He started the one store. I believe he's got more than one store now, and he's also started Mana Pinball. And I got him into Magic, and now he's got a Magic store.
Wow.
When he started working the video game industry, I went up to him the first day he started. I was like, "Hey, do you play Magic?" He was like, "What?" I taught him how to play. He was hooked. Then he played way past after I quit, and now he's got a store that sells it. So, and he's doing well with the store. And that was my source. I was like, "Hey, buddy, when these come out, you should put some aside for me. I'll buy them for you. I'll buy them from you." So he was nice enough to do that. Swung by, picked him up. Yeah. Excited, man. I love Magic, and I love Spidey. Spidey's my guy.
Yeah.
So
that's good to hear. Yeah. Unfortunately, gentlemen, I gotta go.
Actually, we're gonna be wrapping up here, Vaughn. So if you give us a couple of minutes, we'll go head out together. But before we go, I do want to just highlight Mark's upcoming Kickstarter, and if I can find it here, so-called Living. It's in pre-launch at this point in time. He's got 75 followers. It'd be great if he has even more by the time you're ready to launch. Mark, do you have any inkling on when you're going to launch the campaign?
It's going to be mid to late October, so in that gap there somewhere. Okay. I'm trying to aim for sooner rather than later, but I need to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm very much
bunnies in a row.
Yeah, I got to make sure all my bunnies in a row. I like that. I just got to make sure everything's happening. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to get that collector's box together. So
yeah.
Know if that's going to happen. I want to check on printing price. I want to make sure things are still okay before I, because I want to be able to offer a decent deal for all this stuff. So yeah. Anyways.
All right. Well, that's great. We're totally looking forward to it. Once again, I want to thank everyone who was in the chat. We had a great night, Mark. It was awesome having you here again. And totally looking forward to not only seeing the campaign be a success, but also to have those issues in my hand. That's so I can figure out the end of the saga until the next part of the saga kicks off.
Oh, I'm pumped. So you guys won't be disappointed. If you haven't read So-Called Living, check it out now. Oh, and you can read issue 1 for free on Comixology.
There you go. Excellent. So, Vaughn, anything you got coming up this week?
This week? No, not really. Truth be told, I'm just working on a Kickstarter campaign now.
Yeah,
ours launched on Monday. So,
it's the never-ending hustle of that. So,
yeah, so you guys already launched.
Yeah, we just launched.
Yeah, we launched on Monday.
Where's the link? Where's this link? Why are you sharing links in chats now?
Hold on a second. I will pop it up on the screen. But we are, I think we're like 91% funded.
Yeah, something
Vaughn,
like that.
you'll know better than I would.
I think it
But
was 91% last time I checked. Yeah.
here we are. So where was that? $100, $120 away from what we need. 117
I'll help you
or
guys.
111 or something like that. So no, the response has been great. We're having a good time on it, and
You have a lot of time left still on
a lot of time left. We got
Yeah.
24 days, I guess, after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Left on it. And I'll throw the link up in the chat. And also we'll have that for as part of the what's the word? Slipping my mind. Part of the comments that will be part of the video. But you'll also be able to find marks in our chat. We're going to be making sure that that's pinned. And go check out the Kickstarter page. Go check out the My So-Called Life webpage. So-Called Life, sorry. And So-Called Living. See, I'm like Vaughn. I'm at the end of my brain capacity after putting the Kickstarter out.
Oh, dude, it's been a long one.
Yeah, Mark, you know how it is, eh? Like your brain capacity is like you have, and you're a dad too, with little ones. But like the brain capacity is like only for like so much, and then the bandwidth goes poof, like that afterwards.
Yeah. That's why I can tell stories, but not give you any reference examples because I don't remember. I just remember to them. Yeah, here I just I'm backing you guys right now as we speak.
Oh, thank you, man.
Appreciate it. And we're throwing yours into the chat as well too. And that's going to be.
There you go.
In our
your numbers just went up.
Well, thank you very much. Much appreciated. So anyone who's watching, please check out the So-Called Living books 5 to 8 Kickstarter. They're at 75 followers. Let's get them to 100. And then when they launch in a few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, let's get them funded ASAP.
Yes,
it's a great book. And Mark, it's a pleasure as always having you with us. And we look forward to the next time that you're able to join us and talk comics, talk toys, and as well talk indie comics.
Anytime, man. You hit the right topic. I won't shut up.
I'll reach out as well too in the next couple of days, Mark. I wanted to get in contact with you about a couple of things.
All right, excellent.
For sure.
Ready.
All
right, everyone. It was great seeing you. Mark, you take care. And Vaughn, I'll see you around the way. And everyone else, I'll see you in 7.
Keep it indie, people.
Absolutely.